Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is part two of our series on creating a very simple game using the follower logic. Um, from part one, you remember we have on the little mice, we have two follower tags. One is to follow the cheese and one is to flee from the cat. Um, so if you haven't sure about that, watch part one. But right now we want to talk about the cheese. And we want that cheese to, as mice attack it, we want to have an indicator of how much health the cheese has before it is finally destroyed. And we also want the logic to have the cheese actually be destroyed when its health reaches zero. So we're going to show you how to do that. We're going to go in and we're going to get into gadgets, and we're going to go to our logic and processing, and we're going to grab a microchip. Put that microchip down here in the middle, and we're going to open that up, and we're going to put a couple of things in there to get us going. First thing we want to put in there is and this is going to be for our health bar, is we're going to go into movers and output, and we're going to grab a text displayer. That text displayer is going to go right there. And we have a few things we need to do to tweak that. We can see the text boxes over here on the side. And the first thing I'm going to do on this first screen is I'm going to put in the color red. And that's going to be an indicator. You see it has red here. We don't want that text to show, so we go over here to text opacity, put that to 0. We can't see the text, but we can see it here. And it's just a reminder to me that this is going to be our red bar. We're going to change that color to red in this box, and we're going to turn off auto fit. Now this enables us to resize this bar and move it where we want. So I'm going to just move it up here right now, and this is our red. We're going to put a green bar on top of that to show the actual health. So this is all we need to do on this screen. On the next screen, it's border properties. We don't want a border, so we're going to turn that off, and we're going to turn off shadow. So we just want the red bar there. Then we go into our alignment. We want to make sure we're on left, and then we're going to go into our settings and sort order, and that'll be 1 for the red. So that takes care of the red. Now we need to copy this, and grab one and just move it down, and this will be our green. I'm going to go in now and change this from red to green. Green up here, and we got green. Alright, so we go over into the text box properties and we change the color to green. So now we have a green bar, and everything else remains the same. We go into here, we have the border properties are off. We go here, the alignment is left. We go into here, we want to make sure that this is 2, so that red appears in front, the green appears in front of the red. And that basically takes care of our 2 text boxes. So now we have our red bar, we have our green bar. Now we want to be able to have that green go down as the cheese is being attacked by the mice. So let's go in now, and let's go ahead and grab a health manager for the cheese, and let's also go in while we're right there, and let's grab a destroyer. Now when the cheese takes enough damage that it has no more health, it will output a signal that says no health, and when it does that, we're going to take that signal and we're going to plug it into our destroyer. What this tells us is that when the health of the cheese gets to 0, the cheese will be destroyed. It will disappear. It will no longer be there, and that will tell us that the cheese has been destroyed. One other thing we want to do real quick before I forget about that is we want to put a tag on this cheese that identifies it as cheese, so that the mice know that this is what they're going to be attacking. So we're going to put that up there. We're going to take tag. We're going to click on the tag. We're going to just type in here real quick. We're going to type in cheese, and that's our tag. So now we said we had a follower. on the mice, and one of the followers is looking for a tag called cheese. So this is going to be the tag that they're going to be looking for. And so we have our health manager, we have our destroyer, we have our tag, we have our two text boxes. The last thing we need to do is we just need to tie in the health manager to the health bar so that we can, we're going to take the green there. How we're going to do that is we're going to use a timeline and animator. So we're going to go into animation, we're going to grab a timeline, we're going to put that timeline in there, we're going to open it up, and we're going to make that a little bit smaller, and we don't need it to be quite that big, so let's just make this thing a little bit, it's taking up way too much space, so let's just, there we go. Okay, so now we have 5 seconds should be enough. So now we have our timeline. So now we want to be able to record our bar going down as the health is being depleted. So we're going to go back into our animation. We're going to grab a keyframe. We're going to put that keyframe right there at the beginning, and we're going to say stop recording. We're going to go in, we're going to grab another keyframe, we're going to put it at the other end, right there, and then we're going to go in here to our keyframe, we're going to select the blend type, and we have our thing. If we go ahead and rewind the timeline and press play, let's see, rewind the timeline and press play. The timeline's not being rewound. Oh, I know, I didn't stop recording. All right, so we stopped recording. I didn't mess up. And so we rewind the timeline and we, yeah, see, that's what I thought. I messed up that last one. So we're going to have to go back and we'll just delete that one. I got messed up there. So we're going to go in, we're going to grab that keyframe, we're going to put that keyframe down like we did before, and we're going to grab this, and we're going to take it all the way down as far to the left as we can go. We can't get it to disappear entirely, but we can, and there we go. Now let's see what we missed here. All right, take that down a little bit more. As far as we can go. It won't disappear entirely. That's about as small as it gets. Now we press stop record. Now we go in here and tweak that keyframe. Now, let's see, if we rewind the playhead and we press play, we can see the green bar going down as the health. That'll be our health bar, and so we now can, we want to leave this open now for a minute because we still have a couple of things left to do. Let's move this over here. Okay, now we have our timeline, but we need to be able to generate numbers for that. We need to know how much health is remaining. So we're going to go into our health manager. We go to the second screen, and there's a thing called remaining health, a percentage. That's exactly what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that remaining health and we're going to plug it into the playhead of our timeline. We don't want it to be, I got to get this a little further away so I can see exactly what I'm doing here. Alright, we got our playhead back to the beginning. We go over here, remaining health, and we plug it into the playhead. We don't want to plug it into the power, we want to plug it into the playhead. Alright, so now that should take care of it. We should have everything we need to have our health bar work. Now the other thing is we need to have this actually on the object for it to work. So we put that on there, and so now when we press play, let's talk about this. When we press play, the mice are going to be attracted to the cheese. They'll all have the follower chip on it, and the follower chip tells them seek out the cheese. That's where the tag is. At the same time, they have another follower that says flee from the cat. The cat has a tag on it that says cat. And so, and each of the mice also have, let's just check this out real quick. Each of the mice also has a health manager, and when the cat catches the mice, the power is going to be, they're going to be destroyed, and the mouse count's going to go up, and there's a little sound that goes with that. But basically we have the follower to cheese, the flea from the cat. We have a health modifier. The health modifier tells us that it is going to do 20 damage out of 100, 20 damage to the cheese. Every time the mouse hits the cheese, it'll do 20. So it's not going to destroy the mouse in one thing. They have to do it 5 times to destroy it. And you can change that. I just chose 5 because it seemed like a good number to work for the game. So now we have the explanation. We press play. The mice are going right after that cheese, and you can see the health bar is going down. I'm chasing the mice away. The mice are going back to that cheese, and I'm going to let them go ahead and get that cheese. And the cheese is gone. So you can see what happened there, and that's basically the game. That's basically the game. We've seen now the health bar, and using the health manager to determine how each of these characters, the mice and the cheese, are going to be affected in the game by the cat, and so on. Anyway, there we go. I think next time I'm going to go into a little more depth about the health manager and the health, and talk a little bit more about the fine-tuning of the game in the presentation. So look for part 3 in the next day or so, hopefully, and until then, enjoy. Find the game on Dreams. It's called Guard the Cheese, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.